مساء الخير. شرفتونا كلكم واهلا وسهلا فيكم بهالسهره الحلوه، بهالليله الكتير حلوه بهالبلد العظيم اللي اسمه لبنان، وبالمير امين السهره اللي كتير كتير حابينها بيناتكم كلكم بهالتياب الحلوه اللي كلكم لابسينها. هلا اذا بتسمحوا لي كوني عم مثل الدياسبورا رح اقلب على الانجليزي. Today we are celebrating life's 10-year anniversary, and I wanted to share with you life's journey and some of its successes. We are proud of what we have collectively built together, all of us here, life members that have been together for the past 10 years, a lot of us along the way, and many of us that have joined throughout these past 10 years together. We are Lebanese finance professionals spread around the world and have worked together, transcending any religious grounds, any political affiliations, any gender issues, any social classes, all of that behind us as a Lebanese people, working together as one body and with one vision. And allow me, please, just a few minutes to tell you our vision statement. I know many of you know it. Many of you who are our members and have been with us for a long time know this vision statement. But we also have friends with us here who may not know it and may have not heard it and are hearing it for the first time. So humor me, if I may, just to go through it. We believe Lebanon to be a country best defined by a global community of more than 16 million people spread over 6 continents. Beginning with finance, a discipline anchored in our history, our vision is to create a shared platform that transcends borders and affiliations, encouraging all Lebanese around the world to support each other, nurture the upcoming generations, drive positive change, and promote cross-border equity for our nation. Life is a unique organization with a successful journey thus far, with many achievements based on a strong foundation. This year we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and we've marked that 10-year milestone with celebrations across our chapters around the world. We've had dinners in Sydney, in Hong Kong, in Zurich, in Singapore, in Montreal, in Hong Kong. We've even launched our DC chapter with a big event recently in March, and we'll talk about that event in a little bit because it was really quite a heartwarming event that we held over there. We're culminating all of these celebrations in a big gala in November in London, which I hope to see as many of you as possible over there. And that's going to be our grand finale, so to speak, for our events. However, I'd like to say that this particular event here in Lebanon is very special. It's special to us as a group of Lebanese who live in the diaspora, who spend our lives more or less living outside of our country because of work, because of circumstance, because of education, because of many different reasons. We end up living outside of our country. So coming back here is special for us. Celebrating here is special for us. Being in this beautiful venue is particularly special for us. So thank you for being here, and thank you in particular for responding to our invitation for all of you to dress in local attire. I know we're all very used to and very much clinging onto our Gucci's and Armani's and Prada's and Chanel's, and it's nice to see all of you today wearing local attire. A lot of you have done that, and I'd like to tell you why we asked for it. Today, Lebanon, as we all know, is at its worst economic cycle that we have seen, at least I have seen in my lifetime. And we thought it would be nice for all of us coming here from the outside, from all the various countries that we live in, to give a little bit back in terms of coming to these shops and purchase Lebanese products. So we all went to purchase our products, and in doing so, we are helping this economy in a small little way. I know it's not going to make a big difference, it won't make a big dent, but a lot of these shops, the artisanat shops, اليد العاملة اللبنانية, the craftsmanship is still there. It's still there and it's going strong. And we wanted to support in our own special little way. So thank you all. Thank you very much. You look beautiful. And thank you for dressing this. I salute you for doing that and dressing the local attire. And if I may, I'm going to maybe sort of spend a second to talk about what I'm particularly wearing. It's actually quite an interesting story. So I went at the prompt of a good friend of mine, Rindala, who, if many of you might know, you cannot say no to when she asked you to come and join her for a shopping spree. So I went to a store, and the lady in that store who owns the store explained to me the history behind this particular dress or this abaya that I'm wearing. And it's from the ladies in Baalbek, some of whom are very old and some of whom are mentally handicapped or physically handicapped. They sit in this workshop and they work on these abayat. And this particular one is a work of a dozen ladies بدقوا على الفضيات بدقوها for a good month. And when she was walking me through the story and then walked me through the fact that it is done with a special design of the tree of life. And sorry, I'm going to turn around now to show you. It's the tree of life. I had to buy it, regardless of what it costs. I had to buy it and I had to wear it today for our special occasion. So thank you for humoring me for the story, but I had to share that with you. And again, you all look wonderful, and thank you for dressing the part. Allow me now to spend maybe a few minutes to just give you a little bit of an update of what the organization has accomplished thus far, but not to go back through our history, but I want to highlight just the accomplishments for this year alone. And as many of you know, we are an organization that has 3 pillars that we spend most of our time focusing on. The first pillar is connect, the second one is nurture, the third one is promote. Now in connect is meant to do what we are doing today, connecting us together, bringing us together, giving us a chance to meet one another, giving us a chance to be getting to know each other across the globe wherever we live. We are now close to 850 members globally, with a target to get to 1,000 by 2020. And we're well along the way for that target. And I'm very proud to say that these numbers are the good hard work of a lot of people around the room here and around the globe. We've hosted numerous events around the world with a lot of thought leadership sessions and topics across the globe around things that are current, things that are around economies, around different topics that people care about hearing about, with many thought leaders around the world. So these things are attractive to our members, and we continue to raise the bar higher with more interesting topics and debates on an ongoing basis. We will be launching also an AI-enhanced life app, which I have to add is going to be designed by a local Lebanese group, which is really quite nice. And that is going to help us connect better. It'll enhance the flow of information and connectivity to one another. And that's something that we're also very proud of doing. We're also looking towards working closely with an outside group, thanks to the help of our friends out there and outside experts in a new marketing, brand, and communication strategy, which we will be talking about shortly once that's further developed. In nurture, and nurture is something that we spend a lot of time on. Nurture is something that's near and dear to our heart, which is what we try to do to help the future generation. And what we mean by that is we help adopt young students or young people who want to have a career in finance, that we as individuals who have actually transcended our careers in finance can help them grow their careers into that discipline. What we have done so far is over the past 10 years, we have taken 220 scholars through universities. And we have helped them pay for their education, and we have taken them through that cycle that they couldn't have otherwise gone to. And it is based on academic excellence, financial need, and future leadership potential. What we hope to do with these 220 students is we're creating, thank you. We are hoping to create the future leaders of this country. We focus very hard on interviewing many students. We interview over 1,000 for the 220 that we've given. And I'm proud to say that we're agnostic across religious grounds and gender. We don't care where they come from. We just care that they have met our criteria. And currently, we are proud to say that we are 50% females. We have 20% undergraduates, 80% graduate students, and 60% studying abroad, and only 40% studying locally. We have partnerships with top universities around the world, all of whom are working with us closely, many of whom match our program so that they provide funds for the students that we actually provide funds for, because they understand the rigorous process that we undergo with them. And this is where I would like to actually highlight one particular accomplishment that we have achieved this year that I'm very, very proud of. We have, through the generosity of a handful of our senior members, worked closely with MIT to do an MIT Life Fellowship Fund, a commitment of $1 million, which was $500,000 commitment. Thank you. It's a $500,000 commitment from over 5 years from our part, and then $500,000 matched by MIT itself. And the idea is to provide funds for a graduate student into Sloan School who will be Lebanese, hopefully meeting the criteria, every year forever. So we now have the ability to have a scholar coming to Sloan School every year forever. This is a great accomplishment, something we are very, very proud of that, and an initiative that we would love to see replicated in every one of your alma maters. So MIT has done it. Now I invite all of you from the top tier universities, and all of you are graduates of those universities, to please go to your own alma maters, and let's try to do the same thing in every one of those universities. And look at the power of what that would generate. Look at the amount of young Lebanese that we will educate. Look at what that would do for our next generation. This is what this power of the collective does. This is what we are trying to do here at Life. This is one of the major accomplishments of what Life Generation does and what Nurture is all about. And I thank you all for the work that you do for that, and it's only through the work of our membership and the continuous efforts of the generosity of the people around this room that we're able to continue these efforts going forward. So I thank you for that. The last pillar that I would like to talk about and give an update about is Promote. Now, Promote has always been something that we have debated how much activity we would like to do. Promote is about promoting the brand identity of Lebanese, Lebanon, and influencing as much as we can to create the image of a better Lebanon and to help Lebanon in whichever way we can. And we all know how much of a challenge that is. Lebanon sometimes doesn't help itself, but we need to do our part. And we have been trying our best to do our part to help in whichever way we can. One big initiative that we have done this year, which we're very proud of, is an event in Washington. We hosted an event earlier in March where we basically invited our premium members to go to Washington to meet with Washington policymakers who are predominantly of Lebanese origins, so ex-senators and people who work across the board in Washington, and really provided a bridge for bringing us and them together to talk about what it means to be Lebanese and what it means to be accomplished and like-minded people, and what we have done and how we actually are alike in many different ways, that we are not what is talked about in terms of this scary Lebanese thing that does all sorts of nasty things, but that in fact we are educated, we are accomplished, and we are similar to them, and we will need their help eventually to better grow our economy and better help our country. So it was a beautiful event. We were greeted with open arms, and we could see that they are just as keen as we are to have this relationship and to grow the connectivity and to be helpful to us, to help us enhance our economy. And again, we focus on economy, we focus on finance. We did not care to talk about anything other than that. And that's the area and vision that we continue to be laser vision focused on. And through that, we've created a new sub-segment called Friends of Life DC, where we connect with these types of people in Washington and continue a channel of dialogue across common grounds, across common connectivity, to see how we can create ongoing discussions about how we can be more helpful on the ground in Lebanon. Challenge, but something that we take on full force as it's something that we believe very, very strongly in. Moreover, we have continued to offer our assistance to policymakers on the ground here in Lebanon, particularly in this exceedingly difficult economic environment. And I'd like to highlight that this government, in fact, has seen two of our members step up and become ministers. We have Camille Abu Sulaiman and Adel Afyouni, who I can see have been working very, very hard in doing their part to try to help the economy of the country. So, and we support them wholeheartedly in everything that they're doing. We also have our advisory board member, Namat Efraim, who's a member of parliament, and I see him constantly banging on all the important things that need to be done as well. And we wish him also the best of luck. We're here to be helpful whichever way we can. It's a challenging environment, we all know that. but we cannot give up on our country. So anything that we can do to be helpful, that's what we're here for. Furthermore, Promote has become more proactive and active on the ground in job creation. We have this year set up a joint venture with an organization, Starticus, which is a JV. We did a JV with them, which is a fintech incubator and an academy set up in Lebanon, working to help startups accelerate their growth path. It's something that is still in the process of being fully set up, but it's something that we fully support because it will be an accelerator to enhance the growth of these startups and in a very good way. And Alexander Harous is a partner that we are very closely affiliated with and would love to see him successful in his endeavor. The other initiative that I'm very proud to talk about is that we have just approved by the board a $50,000 grant for an organization called SE Factory. Now, SE Factory is a social enterprise, which is a boot camp tech company based in Lebanon, training 100 Lebanese per year to become coders. So they give them a coding boot camp, a very rigorous coding boot camp, and the graduates ultimately end up being recruited by tech companies and people who are doing outsourcing entities in Lebanon. And these outsourcing companies end up using them as their talent base in Lebanon. Cheap labor, if you will, but talented labor in Lebanon. And by giving them this grant, we're actually hoping to double the number of graduates and then triple and quadruple. And look at that. I mean, eventually the plan is to get to 400 graduates per year, and this would be great. These kids will be employed subsequently. So these are the kind of initiatives that we are, thank you. And thank you. I mean, this is generosity of the people in this room that we are able to do these programs. And these are the types of initiatives that we would need to do a lot more of. This is a small example of what the country needs, and this is what we need to do more of in order to see people stand on their feet again. I think there's a lot of unemployment, and there's a lot of young people that are in need to be further enhanced and further supported. This is just a simple snapshot of our recent accomplishments as an organization. Our organization has worked very hard for the past 10 years to bring the strong reputation that it has. Many people often ask me, what's your secret sauce? How is it that Life has succeeded over the past 10 years to be the big organization, the solid organization that it is today, with everybody continuously still talking to each other and friendly with each other, and not having things done that are self-focused, which is what is typically defined, unfortunately, Lebanese, but we do things selflessly and do things wholeheartedly to help not just each other, but to help the future generations as well. And I have to say that it is because it's built on a very strong corporate governance. And our corporate governance is probably akin to a Fortune 100 company that's publicly listed in New York. It's very, very strong. We have a rotating board, we have rotating committees, we have rotating chairs. The chairman leaves after a period of time. Everybody has a finite term. I wish our politicians would learn that lesson, but we have a finite term. And nobody stays in the same seat forever, and that's why it's healthy. It's good. It just continues to grow, and there's new blood that comes in, and that's partly why we have survived and worked so well together. But we also do it because we have a common cause that we all believe in, and we're particularly proud that we have transcended all political, religious, and social affiliations to work together. We work hard together. And we're certainly proud of this journey, but we realize that we have a lot more that we can do. We want to continue supporting and building of a strong foundation for our beloved country and inspire and influence future generations. Today, we are looking at the future and with a new outlook and new dimensions. This can be most effectively done through harnessing the collective strengths of Lebanese who are industry leaders in their respective disciplines. Our future as an organization, looking forward for the next 10 years out, will involve expanding beyond finance. It's something that we have started to do and are looking to continue to do over the next 10 years. Our plan is to become a diaspora organization that has its foundation in finance, but also has industry leaders and Lebanese in the diaspora that are accomplished become part and affiliate of this organization, so we can increase the sphere of influence and increase the amount of people that we can help in our outlook. And we will talk about that more holistically in our gala in November. Thank you. I promise you I'm almost done. I just want to take a moment now to thank Nadim Rantous in particular for this beautiful gathering today and for hosting us. We are the guests of the Lebanon chapter here today, and it's a beautiful evening, and thank you, Nadim, for all the hard work you did to organize everything. In particular, I would also like to thank Frederic Schmeli, I don't know where Frederic is, who has been working around the clock relentlessly. Please, Frederic, stand up. Not only does she manage our membership, and by the way, we are all type A Lebanese, and she manages all of us all the time, so thank you. And a special thanks to all of our executive team that work relentlessly around the clock all the time to help us keep everything that we have going on. It's a very, very difficult organization to manage around the world, but they do a superb job under the leadership of Nadine Masroud. So thank you for our team as well. I'd also like to spend a moment thanking Omar Slim for organizing a wonderful event for tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to everything that is being set up, including our ability to go to the reserve and to plant or dedicate a tree of life, a cedar tree of life tomorrow, which will be a beautiful event for the members and their families. So we're looking forward for that. Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you. I would finally also like to thank the Mir Emil Paras, in particular Tony Jerias and Tamara Hamadi for all of their help on the venue, on the beautiful setup, all the help of the work that they have done with us over the past months in getting this organized and getting this event to where it is today. So this is, thank you all for that. Now I'd like to just end on a little special note from the heart. Our country is beautiful. Our country is precious. Our country is delicate. It is worth our collective efforts, our time, our commitment, our solidarity, our collective generosity to fill in the gaps that need to be filled, to help create a better image for our country, to help create the image of what it means to be Lebanese, and with that, create a glimpse of hope for the future generations, that Lebanon can be a better place for all of us, and it's the Lebanon that we are all very proud of. And with that, if I can raise, I don't have a glass, but I'd love to raise a glass and toast all of you and say, thank you all for being here. Sharaftuna, and enjoy the evening. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.